Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to my channel. You already know what this video is about from the title. I just realized I haven't done this because I kept saying I was going to do this. So on my birthday, as some of you already know, I got a tattoo on my wrist. And I'm just here to talk about what the tattoo is about, basically. Nothing really serious. So basically, my mom had 5 kids. And there's my older brother, there's my sister, then there was 2 other boys, then me. So we lost the 2 boys that are after my sister and before me. So the first one is Emmanuel. And then the second one was Gideon. A lot of my friends knew Gideon because we went to uni together. I joined him in Bingham Uni. And unfortunately, they passed because they were sickle cellers or they had sickle cell anemia. I'm AS, thankfully, but yes, I lost 2 brothers to sickle cell anemia. So for the guys, you may see reason why I always ask people for their genotype and they're like, oh, you like me, okay, what's your genotype? Because I'm not about to go through this. Anyway, so the tattoo, this is where I got the tattoo. I don't know if this is clear enough. Okay, so this is the best I can do trying to focus the camera. So the first one we have here is the 24th of December 1987. So that is Emmanuel's date of birth, and he died in 2007. I was 10, and I think that was if I'm not mistaken, I think that was the 12th of May 2007 was when he died. Then the second one we have here is for Gideon. This is Gideon's date of birth, and it is the 2nd of June 1990, and he died in 2017. I was 20, and he died in June, towards the ending of June, if I have the date somewhere written, because sometimes, honestly, I think at some point I used to have this date in mind, and anytime it came to those dates of the year, and I remember it just put me in such a bad mood. But yeah, it's just 2 dates that mean a lot to me because these were the days my this is just what my tattoo is about. It's nothing really, I mean, it's something deep, it's something very personal to me. My mom doesn't know about this, and I know that when she comes back to England and she says this, she's going to say, Mama, you destroyed your body, you this, that. But yeah, it's something I've been wanting to do, and I just thought that if I were to get a tattoo, the first tattoo I'll get will be something very, special and meaningful to me. Yeah, so basically that's it. And I think losing them has really, shaped my life in, I don't even know how to, I didn't even prepare to have this conversation because I was just here supposed to reveal the tattoo and that's it. But yeah, grief teaches you a lot of things. Grief teaches you, patience and, and yeah, like grief teaches you patience and stuff. So it's, it's sad, where it's been years, you wouldn't expect me to be tearing up right now. Oh my God. Right, it's been years, but it's just when you lose people at such a young age, it's very, very heartbreaking. I think for Emmanuel, when Emmanuel passed, I was 10, like I said, and he passed shortly after my dad passed because my dad died in 2007, same month as well. It was a very tragic month. As I could remember how it felt after losing my dad, and then my brother died shortly after that. It was overwhelming for my family. It was overwhelming on my mom. Oh my God, I remember seeing my mom cry. It was such a terrible experience then. And nobody wants to ever lose their child, and nobody prays to lose their child and stuff. So that one, I know I was pretty young, and then, but he went to the high school. I also went to Imperial. So him and Gideon were in the same high school. And then when I had come, my brother had died, had already passed. So when I came, I kind of had this nice treatment from some of his friends. I remember Ketura was like our neighbor not far from my house, so Ketura tried her best to take care of me. And then there was Senior Murna, and Murna was like very close friends with my late brother, like Emmanuel. And Senior Murna, they will help me iron and stuff. Like it did give me, I mean, I'm not saying it's a good thing to lose a sibling, but when I came to school, they'll be like, oh, that's Emmanuel's younger sister, and they would help me out, do things for me and stuff. And then yeah, and I mean, I knew him for 10 years. I feel like I hadn't known myself that much, but I did know we used to play. He loved football. He had pink lips. And he was just a very sweet soul from what I could remember. He was a very sweet soul. And then growing up as well, so I then grew up with Gideon. He left Imperial and then went to Bingham, and then I came and joined him in Bingham. So I knew that one well because I was more grown. And Gideon would always ask me for money. He was very terrible with money. We call him Giddy. Giddy was terrible with money. He would always ask me for money. And when he passed, he did owe me a lot of money. And yeah, he did owe me because he would always borrow money from me in school. He always wants Gary, cornflakes, golden money. And it's the same provision they are giving to us. They used to even give him more pocket money than me. But he always needed money and stuff. But he was very strong. He really fought. Like, there were times when he would be like, there were times where he had worse crisis than the one that took his life, if you get what I mean. Like, there were times where he would fall very ill, and you would always leave every day thinking, oh, could this be the one? Like, could this be it? You're almost mentally prepared to lose someone, but then he would bounce back. And then it was just that very one that it wasn't really serious at first, until we took him home. And then we're meant to go to Kaduna. We're meant to take him to Kaduna so my mom can take care of him properly. And then I remember Patrick, my friend, we came back to Bingham together to take my brother back to Abuja and stuff. And then yeah, he was really helpful. And then we took my brother to the hospital, me, my auntie, and her husband. And then I remember that he got really better. He got really better. And it's funny now because I later saw something on Twitter or on TikTok about the surge phase or something, that they say when someone is very active after a critical illness, and it's like, I think doctors know it as that thing before the person passes. I remember clearly that very day I had gone back to Grandpa, brought some food back home and back to the hospital. They had even taken off his drip, like he was just, chilling. Like, I was always giving my mom updates. Oh, this is how he's feeling. I'll tell my auntie this is how he's feeling. So I remember that night all right, so okay, so I remember that night he was just pressing me about wanting to drink. I think it was either Ribena or Lucozade Boost. We had even spent so much money on oxygen and all of these things. Then my mom was going to, my mom and sister were like, they're going to reimburse us. And bear in mind, this was shortly after my sister's wedding. So my sister was in Enugu with her husband, enjoying honeymoon and stuff. So I remember he kept pressing me. He wanted this thing. And we were in that Grandpa General Hospital. And then I was like, okay, I'll go and find him the Lucozade. So I had to take Keke all the way to the junction. I remember that night. I had to take Keke. Then I came back because he just wanted that Lucozade. What is wanted? He just wanted that Lucozade Boost, that be Ribena, and I gave it to him. And then the food that I had brought was for two of us to share. It was rice and stew. He insisted on eating the meat. He didn't eat a lot of the rice. He was like, oh, he just really wants to eat the meat. And so I let him rest, but I was at the hospital as well with him, chilling with him and stuff. And he would sleep, wake up, sleep, wake up. And I would also doze off on the chair and wake up. Then at some point, like in the early hours, when he was breathing, he was heaving. I don't know if that's the word, he was panting high and stuff, and that woke me up. And by the time I had woken up from the sleep, there were already doctors coming to check on him and stuff. And I woke up and I saw his eyes, he was literally, I don't know what the word is, he was literally going, it happened in such a short time. It was such a short time. And this is now the fact that you did not expect this to happen, because already this person was talking to you like a couple of hours ago. We were talking a couple of hours ago. We were talking. And yeah, and then 1 minute it was, it was crazy because this was one of the ones that, oh, we were getting discharged tomorrow because, he was feeling better. We didn't even need to use the oxygen anymore and stuff. And yeah, so it all happened fast. Like when that started happening, I called my mom. I quickly called my mom, told her to pray, called my auntie, told them to pray. And, I don't really know what was happening. He was breathing hard and stuff. And yeah. Yeah, so by the time I had stepped back into the room, the doctors were trying to take me out, but it just wasn't working. I just had to see. And by the time I had come, he was still holding on, he was still holding on a few more minutes. And then I'm sorry, this was meant to just be me revealing a tattoo, right? But yeah, by the time I had come in, he was already, he was still looking at me. He was looking at me. I held his hand. He was still looking at me. And he passed. It was like in the moment when you see, someone, life being taken from someone, it wrecked me. It wrecked me for years, maybe still now. And that's the one thing they say about grieving. It goes with time, I'm much better now compared to then, I think for a long time it just I would cry. I dreamt about Gideon, oh my God, 1,000 times, because actually when I then went back to school, it then just felt so different that it just felt different, places I would see him in school. It was just different. And he was such a quiet person. You wouldn't like, a lot of people didn't even know a student had passed in the university because Bingham, oh, please. But yeah, like he was just so quiet and stuff. And then when the news went that someone had passed, and then the people asked me, he was your brother, Waziri, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, yeah. So I had a hard time in school. When I resumed, it was such a hard thing for me, but I had to put myself together. I had to hold myself together for my mom. It wrecked everyone, It's never a good thing losing a sibling. It's never a good thing losing anyone, not even like a young child that is, still has their life ahead of them and stuff. But yeah, that is the whole thing. Yeah, grief teaches you a lot. I can't even get into this right now, but that is why I got a tattoo. That is why I got their date of birth, to commemorate them. Emmanuel Waziri and Gideon Waziri. And that is and to say, finally, if you don't know your genotype, go and check. If there's a man you like that is AS in your AS, just, it's either you're planning to have kids or not or something. But yeah, guys, that is why I got a tattoo for the very final time again. And I do hope to get more tattoos in the future. Maybe my man's name on my neck. Just joking. Or maybe my kids. I'd like to get my kids when I start having kids, maybe on my back or something. But yeah, that is why I got a tattoo. And that is the reason behind my tattoo. So yes, until my next video. I hope I didn't ugly cry, but yeah. Until my next video, guys, take care and be blessed.